I feel bad that it went viral. I didn't, intend for it to go viral. And then people ask, well, why did you press the button?
Saturday night had 137 laps of caution, the most in the modern era, but it was C. Bell leading 12, and of course, the most important to get his fourth win of the season. All right, we're going to welcome Christopher Bell in right now. Listen, so I was looking through your Instagram to kind of get ready to talk to you today. You had quite the summer, didn't you? Like, I feel like you were kind of all over the place, going on vacations, enjoying yourself. Do you feel like this is maybe the first time in your life that you're kind of having some balance?
Um, I don't know. I mean, it is interesting that 2025 has certainly been a little bit more active than the last couple years, specifically with dirt racing. Like I haven't been dirt racing very much, the last couple years. This year we finally get it back, and then I started off the season really, really strong. So it's been, yeah. I mean, I think everybody in the industry would say that it's been an up and down year, but certainly that's been the case for me. And through the end of the regular season, we kind of fell off to where I wanted to be doing better. But yeah, it's been a really fun year overall, and outside of motorsports, it's been really enjoyable too.
Did you have a fun, like I don't know, a better adventure that you and your wife took?
So during the off week, we went to Antigua. I'm still not sure if you call it Antigua or Antigua, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. My wife Morgan, and then our best friends went with us. So it was a really enjoyable vacation, even though it was really early in the season. I prefer to be able to like split the year up more so in half than having the off week in April. So, but yeah, I mean, it's been a really good time for sure.
All right, let's talk about Saturday night. Take me to, like, I don't know, lap 20, 25. Like, what are you feeling and
So
what
Bristol
happened?
Motor Speedway has become one of the most confusing racetracks on the calendar. So that race back in 2024, the spring race in 2024, threw everyone in the industry for a loop, including Goodyear, who makes the tires. They're like, well, we don't know what happened. The tires didn't lay rubber down on the track. They started cording really bad, and you had very extreme tire wear that race. So everyone's like, okay, well, coming back in the fall of 24, no tire change. It should behave the same. And it was a completely normal race. And then fast forward to the spring of 25, the practice session, extreme tire wear again. Everyone's preparing for this, having to manage tires again. And then the race turns out normal. The fall of 25, practice is normal with the tire that's supposed to be wearing more. So you just have no idea what to expect. And I think I said after my practice session that you don't have any idea what you're preparing for, and caught, I would say, a lot of people off guard in the race whenever the track didn't take rubber, and then we had the tire problems.
Yeah, but Adam Stevens said that he would have bet his house that the race would not have gone the way that it did in terms of tire wear, but inside that race car and mentioning what you just did, right, some of the unpredictability that we've seen over years, was there a little bit in the back of your head that said, "Let me prepare for whatever"?
No, not at all. I mean, so going into the week, we knew that there was a tire change that was supposed to induce tire wear. So we were kind of prepared for, a little bit more tire wear than normal Bristol. But the thing is that you have these total like extreme circumstances. So whenever Bristol Motor Speedway takes rubber, there's no tire wear, and you can essentially run the tires forever until you run out of gas. And so you have that extreme whenever the track rubber's up, there's no tire wear. Well, if the track doesn't take rubber, there's extreme tire wear, and you can only go 30 laps on a set of tires if you are running hard. And there's no middle ground at all. Like it's not like it'll take a little bit of rubber and you have some tire wear. It's either all or nothing. And so we show up on Friday to practice, and we have this new tire that's supposed to induce more tire wear, and it behaves exactly like the old tire because the track took rubber. And the track took rubber. It didn't damage the tires at all. So we're like, okay, well, it's going to be a normal Bristol race. And then fast forward to Saturday night, and that did not happen.
How do you adjust? And
Is there anything sort of in your history of racing that prepares you to kinda go from, "My mindset's one way," to, "My mindset having to go another way"?
Um, yeah, I mean, just really leaning on experience. I think that first race in 2024, really, you had to use that, and I feel bad for the guys that didn't get to participate in that race because they're having to learn on the fly, and the only way that you learn is by trial and error, and it's just so difficult. Like we start the race and everybody is pushing hard and not worried about tires, and then all of a sudden the leaders were the ones that first had the tire issues, and they're having tire issues at like lap 20, 30, and they got to get to 125.
Wow.
And fortunately, I was able to kind of be on the front side of that of catching it, and then I was able to extend my tire life to, I think it was 40 or 45. But yeah, I couldn't imagine going into that race with not having the experience from 2024.
Did you like that? Do you like being able to have to, like, manage the tires and do all those types of things? I know I heard you say it was too close for comfort inside the race car towards the end of the race.
Um, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't want to make that the norm because
Yeah.
there is so much luck involved. And let's be honest, whoever won that race was going to get lucky. And fortunately, it was us. The yellow flag came out at the right time at the end of the race, and it benefited us. And there were a lot of guys that it didn't benefit. I was on the bad end of the straw in the first stage and got trapped a lap down. So you're just at mercy of the yellow flags when they come out, and whoever was going to win that race, whether it was me, whether it was whoever, it was going to be about luck of when the yellow flag came out.
You gotta give yourself a little more credit because it was a lot more than luck. How hard was that hit from Brad?
Well, Brad, he got in there hard. Yeah, it's disappointing looking back at it and like seeing the TV broadcast and even watching Brad's in car. It just looks like he just kind of gave me a boost and into the corner I go. But inside the car, it was a big moment, and my hands were crossed up. I was sideways in there, but it just doesn't get portrayed, on TV. These cars are finicky like that.
But you said that you had kinda prepared for it, right? You had backed up your corner, you were ready for that to happen.
I knew that he was not going to let me go off into the sunset. That's for sure. And yeah, so I don't know if it was the right thing to do to back up the corner and let him run into me, or if I should have just charged harder and tried to get away from him. But I guess it was the right thing because it worked out.
It did. So this is obviously, every professional athlete wants to win. It's crazy to think it's been 6 months since you guys, got to victory lane, and I know a lot has been made about the conversations on the radio from Gateway, sort of the emotions that we heard from you, which is, I feel like, a little off character for Christopher Bell, right? You're usually pretty calm. Do things like that, like, how do you kind of sit with things like that? Do you regret saying them on the radio? Do you feel like you have to because that allows the conversations to be had and then ultimately what we see this weekend?
Uh, I don't know. It's walking such a fine line, and
Yep.
it
You're human.
no other sport, no other professional sport has microphones inside the helmet, and it's uh I bet you NFL wide receivers and NBA players, they probably have very similar discards of emotion, I'm going to call it that, like
No
we do.
question.
And it's I don't know. I feel bad that it went viral. I didn't intend for it to go viral. And then people ask, well, why did you press the button? And we're all in this together, and it's just such a fine line. And the positive that comes out of it is we all get together, we all have a powwow, a meeting, and understand that we all want to do better. And Adam Stevens, my crew chief, he wants to win just as bad as I do. My engineers want to win just as bad as I do. Like, we're all on the same team, and at times it can get to be where it feels like it's you competing against your crew chief, and that's the enemy. That's not what you want. You want to make sure it's you
Huh.
and your crew chief racing for a common goal. And we have that in this 20 car.
Thank you, Christopher. Enjoy this win. Good luck the rest of the championship run. I've got my fingers crossed for you. You know I do.
Thank you, Shannon.
Always love catching up with Christopher Bell. Can't wait to see how the next couple races play out for all of our championship contenders, but of course for those Toyotas who have already proven to be so, so fast. Best day ever today. We got to give best day ever to Goodyear. I mean, we have to. I've been in this sport for a really long time, over 20 years. I have covered so many stories about drivers being upset with Goodyear, things not working out, the tires are this, the tires are that. But what they did, what Goodyear did as an organization on Saturday night to rapidly get those sets of tires, that extra set of tires ready for all of the teams. I think there was a great shot at one point where you could see all of them just ready to go with the numbers on them. I just think bravo to Goodyear because no one was expecting that to happen. You just heard Christopher Bell say that, especially probably not Goodyear. For them to act so quickly and to allow this race to play out. I know there were a lot of laps of cautions, but allow it to play out. And it was a fun one to watch. A lot of bumping, a lot of moving around because different speeds. So bravo to Goodyear for making that happen and quickly getting on top of that so that we could see a great night race at Bristol. All right, we'll be back next week. And we're starting the round of 12. So we'll see who kicks things off with a victory and locks themselves into the round of 8.